be a screw, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to Cypherfics. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the first part of What If Ichigo Meets My Hero Academia. Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Leonardo 18 anime on fanfiction.net. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Izukumidoriya was a peculiar boy. The 4-year-old was diagnosed as quirkless. In this huge society where quirks are like a part of someone, he is on the minority of people. Quirkless are classified as people with little hope in society, many of them end as homeless or with dead-end jobs or mocked for having nothing special. Izuku has his mother that loves him deeply even if some people mock her, she will still love him regardless even if he doesn't have a quirk. Which is sad because Izuku's main dream was to become a hero, and that was crushed by his doctor and his then best friend turned bully Katsuki Bakugou, that after trying to help him Bakugou decide to beat Izuku. Even thought he has mocked the green-haired boy try his best to be a good person. Right now, he was at the park walking with his mother, he wanders off alone when he is approached by someone. "Excuse me," said a childish voice. "Huh?" asked Izuku seeing a little girl about his age. "Can you help me? I want to go to exit of the park but I am scared," said the girl. "Oh yes. What is your name?" asked Izuku. "Achi," said the little girl. "Okay Achi-chan," said Izuku a little awkward but still trying to do his best. Izuku held Achi's hand and brought her to the exit of the park. "Here," said Izuku. "Thank you," said Achi bowing. Soon Midoriya ran as fast as she could and saw her son alone in the exit. "Izuku. Where have you been? I was so worried," said Inko hugging her son. "Sorry, I was helping Achi to get to the exit of the park," said Izuku. "Who?" asked Inko. "Achi, she with me right now," said Izuku. Inko only saw her son alone in the ext. "Izuku, there is none here," said Inko. Izuku didn't know what she was talking about. Achi was right there in front of them, and she wasn't seeing. "That can't be a quirk because he doesn't have any." "Oh, so you are?" asked Izuku a little scared. "Thank you so much," said Achi disappearing. Inko didn't know what to say. Izuku says that he sees some weird people around, even though there isn't anybody near him. Maybe is something else, but she doesn't know. "Let's go home," Izuku said her taking her son away. Izuku didn't know why this happened. He saw people that are already dead. This isn't a super ability and even if it were he doesn't know how a hero could save the day while talking with the dead. In Muzutafu. After saving Bakugou and receiving a ton of rash criticism from a bunch of jackass heroes, Izuku was ready to go home. However, Bakugou wanted to make some declarations. "Hey Deku. Let me clear. I never needed your help. I could have got out of there without the help of a useless person like you. Stay out of my way, you nerd," screamed Bakugou, storming away in anger. Izuku couldn't care less for what Bakugou had to say. Those heroes already made a bunch of idiotic things to say, so he was just fine to get out without a burned mark in his skin. "I am just glad that he is okay. Now I can go home and think of a new Kara," thought him. Izuku was ready to go home, but then he was stopped by someone who meant a lot to him and kind destroyed his dream, his favorited superheroes All Might. "All Might?" said Izuku in shock. "Young man, after what I saw today I just have one thing to say," said All Might, returning to his original form. Izuku was shocked by this, and for the first time he felt some hope light being shine in his face. However, that light was soon broken. Are you suicidal? Scream All Might. The teen was shocked to see that his supposed favorite hero was now giving him a harsh lecture for stepping into a big fight scene. Even though neither the heroes or All Might was doing something to help Bakugou, the green-haired boy at least tried to act heroic. However, in the society of heroes, if you do that and you are not a real hero, you are just a punk. If I haven't used my powers, both you and that blonde kid you have been dead by now. I thought I had given you a good reason for not being a hero. Scream All Might. Izuku was now more broken than ever. The first time All Might broke his dream was at least subtle and in a good way, this time it's just appeared to be mean-spirited and rude. I am sorry, I know that I have inspired you in a way. But without a power nobody can survive in this world, said All Might. It's okay, said Izuku, all simple. The teen was holding all the tears in his eyes, but All Might could tell he was going through a lot at the moment. I got go, said Izuku, running away. All Might just stood there all cold and not moving a muscle. He felt sorry for the kid, but he was being rash and stupid. If he wasn't there, the two boys would have probably died. I am sorry, kid, said All Might, all low and in a sorrow voice. Izuku was now running with tears pouring down in his face. His life was a total nightmare at the moment. His number one hero told straight to his face to give up on his dream. The pro heroes are a bunch of cowards, assholes, and Bakugou couldn't even say thank you. This was the day that Izukumidoriya saw how the world was really like. I can't believe. What kind life is this? Heroes are supposed to make people happy. So why do they hurt me so much? Asked Midoriya, now stopping at a random street pole to cry. The teen was just bawling out and he appreciated that there was nobody there to see him. He just wanted to be alone for the moment. Sir, are you okay? Asked a childlike voice. He turns around and saw a little girl. She was almost like fading away for some reason. Why are you crying? Asked her. I just had my idol telling me to give up on my dreams, said him. Oh, I am sorry, said her. No, it's okay. I am just a quirkless kid. I can never become a hero, said Izuku. Izuku for a while discovered that he had an ability to see ghosts. However, that wasn't a quirk, that was a medium-like power, and even people with quirk had that, but nobody used them for big measures because when does a ghost help solve crimes? Izuku just thought of that as his own unique superpower, but everyone would just see as weird and useless. I am sorry, I wish I could hug you, said the girl. I am really sad at the moment. I don't know what to do at this point in my life. I wish since I was a kid to be a hero, and now at the point to start high school I haven't decided to what to do, said Izuku. At least you are alive, you could live a life full of happiness and joy. I heard that in other countries there are a bunch of heroes that don't have a quirk, said the little spirit girl. Izuku started to back off his tears and smiled for a second. You think I could have become a hero? Asked Izuku. I think a hero is someone that moves people by their actions. Not their powers, said the girl. That was a saying that was preached in the old days, however now everything is all about how powerful the next hero is. This society is nothing more than just power scales. Well, you rewrite, but nowadays everything is just powers and quirks, said Izuku. You can be my hero if you put my flowers back. My family put them there, but some mean kids kicked them out for a joke, said the little girl. Izuku saw a little jar near the pole, must be from the girl family. He put the flowers back there and put in the original spot. Here you go, said Izuku. Thanks, said the girl. You welcome, said Izuku, now feeling better. As the spirits start to fade away, Izuku decides to go home. The only place that people cared for him. You are a good person, said the little girl before fading away. In the Midoriya residence. Inko was worried sick, Izuku hasn't returned yet and she wanted to go and look for him. However, before she could do this her son arrived. Oh Izuku. I was so worried. You almost made go to the police station, said Inko. Is okay mom. I got tired on the way back home and slept in the subway. I had to go all the way back in order to return home. It was my mistake, said Izuku with a quick lie. Are you sure? Asked her. Yes. At least they didn't show on the news, said Izuku with the last part in whispers. What was that? Asked Inko. Nothing. Screamed Izuku. Inko knew her son suffered a lot of bullying for years. She wanted to know who was causing, well she knew was bakugou due to the burn marks but without her son admitting she wasn't going to get justice for him. Were you attacked again? Asked Inko. No, said Izuku. Did bakugou burn your books again? Asked Inko. No, he just burned my hero notebook. But it's okay, it's worthless now, said Izuku all sad. Please, stop defending him. One call and me and Mitsuki can end this misery, said Inko. I swear mom he didn't do it. I did it to myself, I started this and I got punished, said Izuku all sad. Inko was angry at that. Bakugou bullying was so long that now Izuku thinks that he deserves all this. She hates that boy more than anything and wanted him to pay, but without her son to admit this wasn't going anywhere. Izuku. Said Inko worried but Izuku didn't want to talk anymore about it. I need to sleep. I had a rough day and I am mess, said Izuku. Okay, but at dinner we will talk with no more buts, said her. Sure, said Izuku all tired. Inko was about to in tears to her boy. She just wanted the best for him, but this society was nothing more than racism and overpower. She fears that someday her son would try. Please, he is everything that I have. Don't do this to me, thought her on her knees crying and praying. In his room. Oh God, what I am going to do. Thought Izuku all sad and angry. Ichi closed his eyes and wanted to forget that day. However, it was impossible when everything in his room was All Might merchandise. He hated all that stuff at the moment and wanted nothing more to do it. He didn't know what he was going to do with his life. However, his thoughts changes when his window opened with a weird noise. Kriek. Huh? Asked Izuku. Soon he saw someone standing right there at his window. It was a girl, a short one for that matter, black hair, wearing a black kimono and holding a sword. It's close, said her all cold. Screamed Izuku throwing a pillow at the mysterious woman who fell to the floor. Bump. Who are you? And why are you in my room? Please don't hurt me or my mom. Screamed Izuku in horror while the intruder was just in the floor in confusion. You can see me? Asked the intruder. Said Izuku worried. I asked you if you can see me. Said her angrier. Well, yes, I can see you, said Izuku nervous. Izuku. Screamed Inko rushing to his room. Mom. We have a burglar. Screamed Izuku. Burglar where? Asked Inko seeing nothing. What? She is right here. Oh wait, are you using a quirk to hide from my mom? Asked Izuku. No, it's not a quirk or some crazy ability. Regular people can't see me. You are special, hence why you can see me, said the intruder. What? Screamed Izuku now worried out of his mind. Who are you talking Izuku? Asked Inko. Tell your mother to leave. I won't hurt or you, but I need to have some questions answered, said the intruder. Izuku was nervous and he couldn't call a hero, so he decided to play along. Sorry mom, I got a nightmare and thought we were really being attacked, said Izuku all nervous. Oh Lord, don't scare me like that again. I will give you one more hour to sleep then we can have dinner. Don't do that again, said her all annoyed. Sorry, said Izuku. As Inko left it was just Izuku and the black-haired girl in his room. He would freak out over a girl in his room, but in this situation he didn't have time for those thoughts. By the way, I wasn't going to hurt her, said the intruder. That at least good to hear. Scream Izuku. This is a interesting room, said Rukia, seeing all the all-might stuff everywhere. So, what are you? Asked Izuku, nervous. Something really important, said her. Huh? Said Izuku, confused. I am a soul reaper or a shinigami, said her. Izuku was shocked by this. She was a soul reaper. Like the ones that take the death to the other side. A soul reaper? Asked Izuku, confused. Yes, I am one of the thousands of shinigami that come to the world of the living to bring the deceased to their eternal sleep, said the girl. So you are really a reaper? Asked Izuku. Yes, I have been doing my duty for some time actually, said her. What is your name? Asked Izuku. Rukia Kuchiki. Now it's your turn. Name? Asked Rukia. Well, it's Izukumidoriya. Said him. Interesting, I don't know how you can see me. There might be someone with soul powers in your family tree. That could be it, said Rukia with a possibly. I could also see random spirits and ghosts since I was a kid, said Izuku. Oh, so you are really a big medium, said Rukia, surprised. Oh really? Said Izuku in shock. Yes, in fact it's hard to find people that can see shinigami and souls at the same time, said her. Izuku was super curious now on how do shinigami operate. He had a ton of questions for Rukia. So you really like a superhero? Asked Izuku. I wouldn't say that, said Rukia. Why not? Asked Izuku. Because we are like cops or firemen. When there is a trouble we go and answered it. What about you? Do you want to become a hero? Asked Rukia. I can't be one, said Izuku, all sad. Why not? Asked Rukia. Because I am quirkless, said him. Rukia was just confused over that statement. What is his quirkless? Asked her. Izuku almost falled HRD on the floor upon hearing that. A quirkless person. Someone that has no powers. You never heard of that? Said Izuku, all confused. So there is a definition for people with no power. Wow, society really went back to those racist slurs, said Rukia. You are really out of touch for someone so young, said Izuku, confused. I am old enough to be your grandma's 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 grandma's, said Rukia. Izuku was now in shock to hear this. She wasn't his age, she was thousands of years old. How old are you? Asked him. Say that again. Said Rukia, ready to take her sword. Izuku was now pinned to the floor by Rukia, really worried over what was going to happen next. What? Screamed Izuku, nervous. First restraint. Obstruction. Screamed Rukia, making Izuku immobilized. What are you doing? Asked Izuku, nervous. Don't move, said Rukia, taking her sword, and now Izuku was scared. Screamed Izuku. Clang. Izuku thought this was his end, however he didn't felt the sword hitting him. He opened his eyes and saw a spirit next to him, and that was the person Rukia was aiming her sword. Don't be worried. The place you are headed to is not hell. It's the Soul Society. Unlike hell, it's a peaceful place, said Rukia. The Soul Society? Thought Izuku, confused. Izuku then saw the soul go to a portal that was formed in the floor, and soon it disappeared. You did that? Asked Izuku. Yes, I sent him to the Soul Society. That was called soul burial. In your language you mortal call going to heaven. It's is one of the shinigami duties, said Rukia. That's incredible, said Izuku, amazed at that. You are probably wondering how this works. How I know how a soul go to heaven and how another one goes to hell. Would you like me to explain? Asked Rukia. Oh please, I am so confused, said Izuku. Rukia soon got a notebook and showed some interesting illustration, and she started to explain how her line of work does it. Let me explain, in this world there are two types of spirits. One is called plus and is the most common spirit. You can say that the ghost that you usually see are these ones. The other type are called hollows, and these attack living beings and dead beings alike and their souls. These are what you people call evil spirits, said Rukia, showing those weird drawings as her form to explain the situation. Why are these bunnies the ones and hollows? Asked Izuku. I like bunnies. Is there a problem with that? Asked Rukia. No. Said Izuku, nervous. Anyway, continuing our lecture, we shinigamis have two duties. One is to guide the pluses to the soul society using our soul burial as you saw just now. And the second one is to extinguish hollows. My current mission is the second one, said Rukia. So you are after a evil spirit? Why aren't you out there looking for it? Asked Izuku. I don't know why, but I can't feel its presence anymore, said Rukia. What do you? Said Izuku, and soon a giant explosion was heard. Boom. What was that? Asked Izuku. Scream a woman in a distance. Who is that? Asked Rukia, confused. Mom. Scream Izuku, worried. Rukia felt that the presence was big. That hollow was a menace to the world of the living. Is coming this direction, thought her. Soon she spotted out of Izuku window and saw the hollow howling his mother. I see the hollow, it's holding his mom as a hostage, said Rukia. What? Scream Izuku. Don't worry, I can rescue her in no time, said Rukia. Please, save her, she is the only thing that believes in me. I can't live without her, said Izuku, crying. Rukia felt pity for this boy, he must have suffered a lot in his life. Don't worry, I promise that I will save her, said her. Rukia soon left and went to fight the hollow. Izuku was a little relieved about that, soon his mother was going to be saved, but there was one problem left, he was still stuck to the floor thanks to Rukia. I can't move, thought him. He wanted to help Rukia in some sense, maybe save his mother so she could deliver the full blow in the hollow. The problem was it was hard to get out of the spell that Rukia put him. I can't stay put, thought Izuku. He was almost ready to give up, then the words of his supposed number one hero came to his mind. You should give up. Those words didn't stop Izuku, instead gave him more strength. No, all might, I won't just watch my mom die. I will risk my life to save her. That's what a real hero do, thought Izuku. After a little while, Izuku did something he didn't know what, but he was able to set himself free and get out of the spiel. What did I do? It doesn't matter, I need to save my mom, said Izuku, running. Outside. Rukia was going all in against the hollow, but the BSTRD was stronger than he can give credit for. It was a really strong one, almost Lieutenant level, not a little shinigami like her. Hiya. Scream her using her sword to cut the monster, but nothing. The hollow smirking at Rukia. Holding the unconscious Inko, he looked at the woman as food and just smile at the shinigami. Don't worry, lady. I will rescue you, thought the girl. Rukia. Scream Izuku. Huh? Asked Rukia, confused. I am here. Scream Izuku. How did you get out? Asked her. I don't know. I am here to help. This not something for kids or wannabe heroes, said her, all angry. Why? Asked Izuku. This is a real monster. A thing that can kill and eat people. He isn't a villain of the week for you hero fanatics. This is a real monster. Scream Rukia, pointing at the hollow. What? Asked the boy. Izuku then saw this giant monster holding his mom. It made the sludge villain from early look like a kid's show villain. It was tarrying and had an aura that can give anyone chills. Izuku would just ran away, but he didn't want to believe that those heroes, Bakugou and All Might, were right. If he was going to die fighting a monster, at least he tried to save his mom. I am not going to run away, said Izuku. What are you saying? Asked Rukia. Nobody is worthless in this world, everyone has a purpose. My purpose is to protect my mother, said Izuku. Izuku then grab a random piece of wood that was on the ground and charge at the monster. That's it. Scream Izuku. What are you doing? Asked Rukia. I am tired of people thinking I am useless because I don't have a quirk. Scream him. Izuku went full charge at the hollow and aimed to the arm that was holding his mom. Hey! Let my mom go. Scream Izuku. The hollow just looked at him and scream. Roar. What is that? Asked Izuku, being blown away. The scream of a hollow was lethal if not taken care, could cause the death of both living beings and even shinigamis. OCRP. He is going to die. I can't allow this to happen, thought Rukia. Izuku was down and the hollow was charging at him to devour him. I am sorry, Mom. I couldn't protect you, thought him. Before anything could happen, he heard a crunch sound in a split second. Crunch. Huh? Asked him, confused, and behold, Rukia was standing in front of him, taking the hollow bite. Fool, said her, all injured, bleeding. Rukia. Scream Izuku. You idiot. I already told you that only shinigamis can handle these monsters. Either you are the biggest idiot I ever encounter, or you wanted to spare your mother by giving yourself as a sacrifice, said Rukia, all weak. I am sorry. I only mess up. Said Izuku, all sad. Do not worry about this. I would have done the same thing if I was alive. Unfortunately, I am no longer able to fight the hollow. No, said Izuku, all sad. I wouldn't say that all hope is lost. There is one option left, said Rukia, all weak. What is it? Scream Izuku. You must become a soul reaper, said her, much to Izuku's shock. What? Is that possible? Asked Izuku. You can accept this duty once I pierce the middle of my sword on your chest. The sword that you see is called Zanpakuto, and I will insert half of my shinigami powers into you. That way you can save your mother and slay the hollow. In other words, I am giving you the permission to become a temporary shinigami for an hour or two. This should be enough time to deal with this mess, said Rukia. Izuku couldn't believe what he was saying. She was going to give her powers to save his mother. He never imagined this to happen to him, but if it is for this cause he must use at the great cost. Izuku. Where are you? Asked Inko, unconscious while being held by the hollow. Mom. Scream Izuku. Don't come here. It's dangerous, you are going to get hurt, said Inko while mumbling in her state. Seeing his mother all worried even in her dreams was enough to make Izuku try this. Rukia-sama, please make me a shinigami, said Izuku. Good boy, said Rukia. Izuku was ready, but the hollow could sense nothing good coming from that. He is coming, said Izuku. Don't worry, the transformation takes a few seconds, said Rukia as she charged her sword to Izuku's chest. A bright light soon erupted, followed by a giant explosion. Boom. The hollow was super confused over what just happened. Huh? Asked the hollow. And then the arm that was holding Inko was cut off clean in the blink of an eye. Arg! Screamed the hollow in pain. The woman soon fell to the ground, no big injuries, but she was safe. Standing in front of her, protecting the older woman, was her son. Izuku now had the same black kimono as Rukia and a giant sword, almost the size of his body. Rukia was looking at this in shock, seeing all that. Wait a minute, how is that possible? Asked her. Rukia was soon followed with more and more question over what just happened. I only gave him half my power, but everything was taken away. Asked her. Izuku soon went full charge at the hollow. Almost like he has done that before, which made Rukia worried. What is he? Thought her. Clang. The hollow was now defeated and Izuku blacked out. Rukia went towards him to see what just happened. Izuku, are you okay? Tell me, what have you done? My powers. What is going on here? Screamed Rukia, and then the sound of a wooden sandal was heard. Clank. Huh? Who is there? Asked Rukia. Well, don't scream, young lady. There are people sleeping in this neighborhood, said a mysterious person. You are? Asked Rukia in shock. SSSSH, don't talk, let's take these two home and then we talk, said the mysterious person. The mysterious and Rukia soon took Izuku and Inko to their apartment and tried to look like a crazy accident happened in these streets. They hoped people would buy that. In the next morning. On the bakugou household. Katsuki Bakugou was still peased over what happened yesterday. The heroes saw him as a weak bstrd and Deku saved his butt, he was going to make sure the nerd stay in his place this time. Stupid nerd. Wait when he gets to school, said Bakugou. Hey Katsuki, look on the news. Said his father in worried tone. Huh? Asked Bakugou, seeing that Izuku neighborhood was attacked last night. Isn't that where Izuku and Inko live? I hope they are all right, said Mitsuki. What happened? Asked Bakugou. Apparently a mysterious truck appears out of nowhere and crashed the building. I got say those drivers need to take care of themselves, said Mizura. The reports soon announced that nobody was hurt and construction was soon going to happen. Thank God that nobody got hurt, said Matsura. We should be grateful that Izuku and Inko are safe, said Mitsuki. Katsuki on the other hand didn't buy that story of truck. There are spots that were intact, and the other side was totally destroyed. What that hell? Asked Bakugou confused. There is no way a truck could have caused all that. On Izuku apartment. The teen soon awoke in his bedroom. He saw that he slept with his uniform on it. Oh, so it was just a dream, said Izuku, a little sad that all that was just his imagination. He then walked to his kitchen, only to see his mother, and she rushed to hug high. Oh Izuku. Are you okay? Asked Inko. Well yes, said Izuku confused. Oh thank Lord, said Inko hugging him. Hey mom, I wanna say something, said him. What is it? Asked her. I decided that I want to not be a hero. It was just a stupid idea anyway. Can we look for new career options after school? Asked Izuku. Sure, anything that makes you happy is good for me, said Inko. As Izuku kept receiving his hug, he knew that he had a lot coming up. First of all, he need to figure out a way to get out of Bakugou way and get rid of all that all-might CRP. On Aldera Junior High. Izuku was alone in his desk, just thinking of what career to choose. While everyone was trying to cheer or try to give some attention to Bakugou, due to the incident with the sludge monster. Hey Bakugou, are you okay? Asked a kid with wooden face. I heard that All Might had to use the full strength to save you. How about that? Asked a kid with sharp fingers. He didn't even use 1%. The sludge BSTRD was beaten and end of story. He got lucky. Screamed Bakugou. Izuku was trying to just be on his own, but Bakugou was a guy that wasn't going to let anything to stop him to deliver some lessons to Izuku. When the lunch start, he was going to have a chat with him. F nerd. Just wait. You will die after lunch, thought Bakugou. Jackass, thought Izuku, clearly trying to be on his own, but Bakugou ego was so big that he couldn't let anything pass. Soon the teacher arrived and everyone went to their place. Morning everyone. By the way Bakugou, I am glad to hear that you are okay. I am amazed that you decided to come to class after what happened yesterday, said the teacher. Whatever, no Z villain is going to stop me from going to UA, said Bakugou. Well, before we start, I have an announcement. We have a new classmate joining us. I know it's weird on the final year, but she just moved to town, said the teacher. The class soon got confused over that. Someone new on the last year. Izuku was also intrigued by that. A new classmate? Thug at him. Soon the new classmate appeared and Izuku had a horror scream in his mind. Scream Izuku mentally seeing Rukia standing right there. So it wasn't a dream. Class, this is Rukia Kachiki. She just moved to town and starting her last year at our school. Let's be supportive and give her a big welcome, said the teacher. Hi there everyone, I hope to meet you in great detail, said Rukia. The class was liking this girl, she was prettier than the others girls in the class. Only Bakugou didn't care for her looks, for him relationships were a waste of time for heroes. Shorty. She is going to be just another extra, thought Bakugou. Rukia, where do you want a seat? Asked the teacher. I would like to be next to that green-haired kid. There almost no one there, said Rukia. Oh sure, Izuku, you will have someone at your side. Isn't that good? Asked the teacher. Sure, said Izuku. Rukia soon went to the desk next to Izuku and the teen was trembling in shock over that. Hi, nice to meet you, Izukumidoriya, said Rukia with a sassy smile. Izuku was just having a lot creepy vibes from Rukia. She had a look we have things to talk about it all over her face. It was going to be a long talk and Rukia wasn't going to let that boy out of her sight. Rukia came near Izuku, she could tell from a mile away that he was scared of her. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time, Izukumidoriya, said Rukia giving her hand to be shaken. The pleasure is mine, Kachiki-san, said Izuku nervous. Well, aren't you going to shake my hand? Asked Rukia with a hint of smirk. Izuku went to shake Rukia's hand and saw a note, a little more about the current situation. Say anything and I will kill you. Izuku felt an eep and Rukia went to seat right next to him. Izuku felt like the Grim Reaper was watching him, in a sense yes, but Rukia wanted to talk some serious stuff about last night. After class. It was time for the break. In other words, Rukia and Izuku talk, plus Bakugou listened to Izuku. Okay, class is over. Come with me to the roof, said Rukia. What is this about? What is going on? Asked Izuku nervous. Let's be alone and I will explain everything, said Rukia. The two were about to go to the roof when Bakugou blocked their passage. Where do you think you are going, Deku? Asked Bakugou with a cold murderous tone to his voice. Said Izuku nervous. You and I have unfinished business, said Bakugou with a psycho tone. Izuku was pretty much scared out of his mind while Rukia just saw this as just an annoyance. Excuse me, but Izuku has to come with me, said Rukia. Shut up, shorty. Said Bakugou. Excuse me, said Rukia with a raised eyebrow. He has to pay for yesterday, said Bakugou crackling his knuckles. For what? Asked Rukia. For humiliate me in the front of the pros. I am not a weakling bstrd like him, I am the strongest. Screamed Bakugou, making everyone in the class back away in fear. Only Rukia was unfazed. Rukia did a deep research last night on how the current society works. This was one of the most raciest time periods in human history. The Quirks were a mystery even to the shinigamis, but this idea of the strongest is so ridiculous. Humans are already on the top of the food chain, why this need to at the top? Nothing more than ego and pure narcissism. Also, she saw All Might and just had a look disgusts. The way Bakugou talked, remember her of prideful assholes in the Godei 13, the difference was unless you were a captain or a lieutenant you don't have the privilege to say you were the strongest. A kid who was only 13 was saying he was the strongest. And he wanted to beat up Izuku for saving him. Was this kid a villain? So he helped you and you want to punish him. What are you, a psycho? Asked Rukia. He needs to learn his place. I can't let a Deku like him humiliate me. Get out of my way, B. I have a lesson to teach, said Bakugou, ready to grab Izuku, but Rukia didn't let him even come closer to the green-haired boy. Oh, please, will you just shut up? Screamed Rukia, kicking Bakugou in his lower areas. Kick. The blonde was in intense pain, that hurt a lot. That was probably the first time someone outside of his mother hit him, and this one hurt like a son of a b. Arg. Said Bakugou, going down with a bit of tears in his eyes. The other students were in shock over that. Nobody ever laid a hand on Bakugou. He was like the king of the school, and in just one day the new girl finally did something that so many wanted to do, beat up Bakugou. You kicked Bagwo in the nuts. Scream a kid with wooden face. Yeah. I will do it again if he starts to bug me. Anyone else wants to annoy me? Scream Rukia. The students were now afraid of her. On this days the era of Bakugou was over. Rukia Kuchiki was now the strongest person on the whole school. Not in a quirk level, but in a level of I will beat you up no matter what deal. Good, let's go Izuku, said Rukia, grabbing Izuku's hands. Arf, right, said Izuku, a bit nervous. The rest was in shock by that. Now they have to be nice to Izuku or Rukia will kick their asses. Truly in one day things have changed. Bakugou, are you okay? Asked one of his lackeys. I am going to destroy her, said Bakugou in growl while he was in pain. The teen never felt so much humiliation. People were laughing at him, talking smack about him and pretty much seeing him as a weakling. At the rooftop. Izuku and Rukia were now all alone. Izuku felt that more nervous than ever, Bakugou would chase him like a crazy dog. Why did you do that? Kaken is going to be so mad at me. Asked Izuku. What? I kicked that but in the ball, and I will do it again. Izuku, I lived over centuries, I saw death so much that this kid is nothing more than a baby throwing a tantrum in a restaurant. Apparently nobody ever said that brat no in his life, so if he ever comes after you I will deal with him. Especially because I need you right now more than ever, said Rukia. Izuku just thought about that. This was probably the most honest point that a person has ever said to him. Normally people let Bakugou do what he wants because of his quirk and strength, but here Rukia showed to not give a CRP for what he has. Why are you with me in the rooftop? Are you going to do things with me? Asked Rukia with a giggle. What? Why are you talking like this? Asked Izuku. What? People don't talk like this. Asked Rukia. No. Said Izuku. Well, I am sorry if I was born centuries ago. I am surrounded by other people from centuries ago. I am sorry if my way of talk makes you uncomfortable, said Rukia. Izuku was now a bit nervous. He just wanted to know what was Rukia doing here and what he had to do it with all this. Okay, Rukia-san, can you tell me what is going on? I thought you went back to the Soul Society, said Izuku. Well, only shinigamis can do to the Soul Society. Right now, I am not able to return there, said Rukia. Huh? What do you mean? Asked Izuku. Because I lost my shinigami powers, said Rukia. Izuku felt like a truck hit him in the face. That was something he did not expected. What? But I am no longer a shinigami. I don't have whatever I did last night. How can this be possible? Asked him. Inside of you it's not your body but your soul that has become shinigami. I have but barely any abilities left, said Rukia. Izuku remember last night like it just happened seconds ago. Him getting those powers and save his mom, for some reason he felt different from yesterday. Maybe it was Rukia powers or something else. Anyway, last night I had almost all my powers taken by you. I am so desperate that I am even forced to use this artificial body, said Rukia. Artificial? Asked Izuku, confused and scared. It is when we shinigami other body to be used in emergency situation. A weakened shinigami enters it to wait for his powers to recover, said Rukia. So this body that you are using is human? Asked Izuku. Yes, Weakened shinigami are the target of hollows. If I am not careful, I am going to be their next meal. So for the time being I need to act like a human, said Rukia. So this is how the others could see you. Even Kaken, thought Izuku. So, until my powers return you will take over my shinigami duties. Said Rukia. Izuku felt like his heart stop. Rukia wanted him to be a shinigami and FGHT those monsters. Well, he wanted to be a hero, but not to fight creatures that could eat your flesh and soul. What? Why? Screamed Izuku. Duh, you are the one that has my shinigami powers now. I will assist you, of course, guide you like a sensei. You can even call me your senpai or MSTR. That should be cool. Also you can't quit because my powers will not leave you until we find a solution, said Rukia. But why me? Why did I get stuck with your powers? Asked Izuku. Look, I don't know, all I know is that I have work to do and I can't use my powers. You are my replacement, a replacement shinigami if you will. That's actually has a nice ringtone, said Rukia. How long do I have to do this? Asked Izuku nervous. I don't know until my powers come back to me. It might take a month or 5 years, said Rukia all challenge. What? 5 years? I don't what to do. Oh boy, I can get in trouble with the law again. What if a pro hero see me? What if All Might sees me again and scolds me again? Oh my, this is so difficult, said Izuku mumbling at full speed. You really like to mumble there, kid, said Rukia. Rukia could see that Izuku was not stopping anytime soon, so she needed to be a bit extreme. Sorry for this, said Rukia, taking something out of her pocket. She then put a red glove with a skull on it. She then rushed toward Izuku and managed to knock his soul out of his body. Pump. Izuku took a few seconds to see what just happened. Once he looked down, he saw his body all frozen and looking like it was dead. Aya! Screamed Izuku. Stop screaming. I can hear you, but you don't need to destroy my ears, said Rukia. What is going on? Asked Izuku. This is your body. Don't worry, you are safe. If you get hurt in your shinigami form nothing much will happen to him, however we do need to put him in a safe space otherwise comedy will happen, said Rukia. This is so creepy. I don't know what to do, said Izuku in horror as he sees that he was in full shinigami uniform. Hear what is going on. After school we are going to start your shinigami training. We will find hollows and other spirits and you will deal with them. Simple as that, said Rukia. Izuku felt now a bit of sense of a goal in mind. He didn't know what he was going to in life. He thought maybe being a translator, since he was as much good in English as bakugou, even surpassing sometimes. Right now, he was going to be a hero for the soul world. It wasn't going to be like All Might, but Izuku let that sense of wanting to be like All Might. Now he had a new person to look up to, Rukia. Do you want to be called Rukia-sensei? Asked Izuku. No, I was just messing with you. Just call me Rukia, said Rukia. So how do I get back into my body? Asked Izuku. Just get in there, said Rukia. The teen heard that and went down to see if he was going to get control of his body again. After a few seconds he was in control Aegon. Whoa, said Izuku amazed at it. Yes, get used to and make sure to put the body in somewhere safe. I need some stuff in order to keep everything intact, said Rukia. So we start tomorrow? Asked Izuku. Of course, just relax and kick back. Tomorrow, I will teach you all that is needed, said Rukia. Izuku just smiled at that. He was finally going to be useful in his life. He wasn't a Deku, he was a shinigami in training. I am just happy that I am going to do something. Be able to protect those that I love and make them proud. Said Izuku. Yeah, but remember we are not publicists so don't expect to see your face in a billboard like that creepy guy, said Rukia pointing at an All Might poster on a billboard. Yes, said Izuku laughing, and soon lunch was over. Back at the classroom. Bakugou was still in immense pain from Rukia kick. He was trying to hold the tears, but it wasn't working. So, do you think she is hot? Asked one of Bakugou goons. Shut up. She is nothing more than a shrimp. She is barely acceptable, said Bakugou. Hey, just asking you, man. She is cute and she took you down. Said the goon, but Bakugou wasn't having none of that. I am fine. She got a lucky shot. Maybe this show that I haven't mastered my reflexes, said Bakugou, still pissed. Then Rukia and Izuku arrive in class, with Bakugou only staring at the two with pure hatred. That bee. She is going to pay, thought him. Soon class were about to start and one of the classmates, the kid that could stretch his eyes, decided to speak. Hey Izuku, at least the new girl has a like for pointless stuff. I mean, why would she hang out with you? Asked the kid. Izuku didn't say a word, but Rukia went to comfort the bully. What did you say, brat? Izuku is pointless? Tell me why, said her. Because he is quirkless. He is much useless as a paperweight. Oh wait, there is already a hero for paperweights, said the kid. Racism right in my face. Truly the times have gone back to the colonial days style of race, said Rukia. Why are you talking like a grandma? You need to step and use your quirk. This is how you get around in the world, said the kid. What is your quirk? Asked Rukia. I have long eyes, I can stretch them to a really good amount. I can become a great pro hero, said the kid. Rukia gave him the biggest serious look ever. It was the same look that a teen get from his parents once he said that he studied but not enough. It hurts, and it was something that Rukia loves to do in order to put punks in line. Really kid, said her all cold. The kid stopped smiling, and then he pretty much realized on that moment how pathetic he was. How can he be a hero if all he could do was stretch his eyes? Even the paperweight had some good points, he on the other hand no way. I am going to rethink my life, said the teen a bit sad. Good, besides you need to. I don't know, maybe an eye doctor. You can rich pretty fast, said Rukia. Yes, I think I should do that, said the teen, shocked that he never thought about that. Rukia just smiled and went back to talk with Izuku. Whoa. That was amazing, Rukia-san, said Izuku. It's called realism. If people keep living in a delusion utopian, we might as well just burn the entire globe, said Rukia. Well, I didn't like the bast part, but we can still make it work, said Izuku. Rukia then saw someone staring at her. She saw Bakugou making the murder glare, much to her annoyance. What is the deal with the almighty brat over there? Asked Rukia. Oh, because you kicked him in the nuts, a video started to play around. Bakugou already have a remix and some followers. He is now more pissed than ever, and I guess is because of you. Said a random student. Thank you expositions, said Izuku, talking with the classmates. The pleasure was mine, said expositions. Rukia just saw Bakugou and scoff him. That made him even more pissed. The fact that this kid acted like a king was bad enough. She was going to put him in his place. He is a huge baby. I am going to create hell for him, thought Rukia. Rukia-sama, please don't anything against Kaken. It will end bad for everyone, said Izuku. I don't care. This baby is going to get a spanky if he is trying to attack me again, said Rukia, all pissed. The two kept talking while Bakugou looked at them like if he was a hunter ready to kill. He realized that together he couldn't do anything against him, but if he encountered them separately he could give some hell. I will get you shorty and you too Deku, thought him. The class soon started, and the teacher started talk about heroes of the past. Something that Rukia find annoying while Izuku thinks this is great, he still thinks it's annoying. Izuku was leaving home with some simple working out clothes. He told his mom that he would be going to the park to start training, just for good health, which she thought it was okay. Right now Izuku was super pumped, this was going to be his first day of training as a substitute shinigami. Alright. Time to get to work, said Izuku. At the park. Rukia was reading some mangas just past the time, soon she spotted Izuku wearing those working out clothes and she had a confused look on her head. What is this? Asked Rukia. What? Aren't we training? Asked Izuku. Well, we are both not with our physical bodies. You are going to leave your body to start doing your duties as a shinigami, said Rukia with a point. So I put all this for nothing? Asked Izuku confused. Look, let me show how I do so you can get the handle of it, said Rukia putting her glove. Asked Izuku. Soon put her hand on front of Izuku and soon he was with the shinigami uniform, meanwhile Izuku's body was laying down on the ground, looked like death. I hope this doesn't become regular, thought her. What did you do? What is that on the floor? Asked Izuku. Your body, said Rukia. Help me. I don't know, call a doctor or someone. Said Izuku nervous and then Rukia beats him in the head. Listen here. For the last time your body is fine. I might know how to make sure that your body doesn't look like it's decaying, but we need to deal with what's important first, which is your training, said Rukia. So I am fine. Nothing will happen to me once I get back to my body? Asked Izuku. Yes, but we need to be careful, said Rukia. What do you mean? Asked Izuku. Your body is not invisible, there could be creatures or other creatures that might want to have a bite, said Rukia. Huh? Asked Izuku confused. Like that dog over there, said Rukia. Izuku turns his head to see a dog munching on his fingers, like if they were a chewing toy. The fact that he was seeing that while out of his body was freaky enough. What is going on? Screamed Izuku. Shoo, get out of here, said Rukia putting the dog out of sight. Now that the dog was gone, Rukia put Izuku's body hidden in some bushes. The green hair would be amazing camouflage so now they could focus on their training. Okay, now that this is taken care of we can start training, said Rukia. So what do we do? Asked Izuku. We need to see how well you do while fighting hollows, said Rukia. How do we find a hollow? Asked Izuku. A hollow usually stay on a place where the person's soul died. This park had a lot of people dying over the years, there is probably one over here, said Rukia. The shinigami looked around and very soon she saw a small hollow. One of the size of a dog, it was chubby and had a lot of teeth. I see one. Perfect for training, said Rukia. Really, where? Asked Izuku. Rukia pointed towards the place where the small hollow was. The little pod, perfect for hiding, said Rukia. Do you think I can defeat that hollow? Asked Izuku. Yes, you took one the size of a building. I don't know if this was a hero moment or what, but you can do something. Now it's your chance to fight back, now go on. Said Rukia. Okay, said Izuku preparing to attack. The teen was not in the best shape or way to fight. He kept missing the grip of the sword, not knowing how to fight with a kimono, and pretty much shaking in fear. Is that hollow a threat? Asked Izuku. Yes, that's a beginner-level hollow. Maybe a small soul that got corrupt so you can take him out with one swing, said Rukia. Well, I guess everyone has a start, said Izuku nervous. The teen was shaking in fear and not knowing how to do. Maybe there was some magic word or something, but he didn't know what to do. Izuku managed to lift the zanpakuto and tried to strike the hollow and he was horrible at it. Hiya! Said Izuku missing the hollow. Put more shoulder, said Rukia. Izuku tried again and he swinged again trying to attack again. Hiya! Scream Izuku and the hollow jump away from his attack and the teen hit the floor. Stop screaming. This isn't a game, said Rukia now annoyed. Izuku tried one more time and this time the hollow was furious. Hi! Said Izuku ready to attack but the hollow jumped towards his face. Screamed the hollow right in front of Izuku, making the teen jump in fear. Scream Izuku running away. Rukia just facepalm, how did he got his powers was beyond her. Did you scream and ran away? Asked Rukia annoyed. Rukia, I don't know how to do. I never fought before, I always shirk and just stood there. I don't know how I fought that hollow before, but I can't imagine myself fighting these monsters, said Izuku. Look, I don't like this either. Do you think I want to stay here and teach you? We need to SCK it up and keep going, now you need to put that hero CRP and kill that hollow before it's too late, said Rukia. What do you mean? Asked Izuku. Look over there, said Rukia pointing. Izuku saw where she was pointing and he saw a family. A family? Asked Izuku. No, that's lunch for that hollow, said Rukia. Izuku felt his color drained, the hollow now had a grin on his face and drolling. We need to stop it. Scream Izuku. You are the shinigami, it's your job to take care of him. Remember they can't see him, so anything they will think a cannibal supervillain arrived and eaten them, said Rukia all cold. Izuku felt nervous, he couldn't just let that monster eat those people. Unlike Bakugou with the heroes there was nobody there to lecture him, now this is beyond what the sludge villain was trying to do. He needed to do some action and right now. I, said Izuku nervous. Izuku, take a deep breath and repeat what you did the other night. Imagine that it's your mother there and that BSTRD is going to chew her up. Are you going to let your weakness and shyness be the cause of innocent deaths? Asked Rukia. Izuku felt his fear gone away, he felt grabbing the sword with much strength and he felt a strong sensation. No, said Izuku all serious. Now kill that BSTRD, said Rukia. Playing number 1 on the background. Izuku grabbed his Zanpakuto and charged at the little hollow. With no fear or some kind of weak trait he swinged the sword and hit the hollow. Aya! Scream Izuku. Swing. Arg. Scream the hollow in pain. The hollow soon disappeared and the family was safe. Meanwhile the family felt something happened, it was like they were safe from almost hit by a truck and were safe by someone's kindness. They couldn't see Izuku because he was in shinigami form, but he was looking at them with a smile, knowing they were safe. What just happened? Asked the wife. I don't know, said the husband. The baby just smiled because she was looking up at the direction of where Izuku was standing. She can see me? Thought Izuku. What is wrong, dear? Asked the wife. I feel we are near a guardian angel, said the husband. Let's just go home, I am not feeling well, said the wife. Izuku just smile as the family goes off. He then turns his head and see Rukia clapping for him. So how did that feel? Asked Rukia. It felt really good, said Izuku with a smile. Good, now you are going to see more of these and way bigger and ugly, said Rukia. Oh, I forgot about that, said Izuku remembering that this was just a training hollow. I told you I am not getting my powers anytime soon, so prepare to get your hands full of bubbles. You are also going to learn some other tricks, said Rukia with a smile. Okay, I leave everything to you teach me. I am glad that I have you to guide me Rukia-san, said Izuku. Now don't act like this is forever. When I get my powers back, I will return to the Soul Society and you will be back to be a powerless individual. So always remember that, said Rukia. Wait a minute, how can't you connect with someone from your place to help you get your powers back? Asked Izuku. In the Soul Society messages take a while to receive. I can get messages of where the hollow is but getting someone here to fix this mess is too much for them. Besides it's kind hard to find a way there, because there isn't a quick portal, said Rukia. How long have you been a Soul Reaper? Asked Izuku surprised. A while. I actually graduated a while ago from the Soul Reaper Academy, said Rukia. Academy? Asked Izuku. Oh yeah, Soul Society has an academy where people can train to be a part of the illustrious Shinigami Patrol. There are 13 squads and once you graduate you are sent to one of them to be a part of their mission. Man, I remember that took me years to get the perfect Kido spells, said Rukia. Wow, how old are you? Asked Izuku. What did you say? Asked Rukia grabbing Izuku by the uniform. Sorry. Said Izuku nervous. Good. Now swing your sword 100 times. I want you to have this technique like you have a knife with Butler, said Rukia with a smile. Yes. Said Izuku with a smile. Izuku kept swing over and over again. Pretty much like a soldier doing some kind of boot camp. He needed to get stronger and beat the hollows, he was in this mess and he needed to make it work. At night. I am home, said Izuku returning home. Hi Izu, screamed Inko seeing her son. Izuku was full of leaves and scratches. His body was left in the bushes and in the dirt for 5 hours and didn't get water or something so it looked like CRP. It was almost like he was mugged and tossed aside. What happened to you? Screamed Inko. I need to find a better place to put my body, thought Izuku. What happened, young man? Asked Inko. I slept on the park. I ended up sleeping on the ground, said Izuku with a weak smile. You can't do that. You will get sick and other horrible things. Screamed Inko. Sorry mom, said Izuku. You better clean yourself young man or no dinner, said Inko serious. It's okay. I am going right now, said Izuku with a smile. I will smell your hair to see if that smell is off. Said Inko. Yes Mon, said Izuku with a smile, he truly loves that he his mother with him. Meanwhile with Rukia. He is still needs lots of proactive. He is like a weak newbie that started the academy. I was never the best in following rules, but I guess playing teacher might be something, thought her. She was on a little space that was her quarters for the time being. She wanted a bigger bed, but she didn't have any documents or money, so she didn't have any choice. How low do I have to do this? In the Soul Society a month is gone like an hour but here it feels like an eternity, thought her while she draws some bunnies for fun. Rukia felt she needed more information on how the hell did Izuku got her powers, so she probably needed to go someplace with a ton of information. I might have to go there again. I hope he has more information, thought her while she closes her eyes to sleep. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Leonardo 18 anime on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video, till then goodbye.